Hey friends, it's Colleen. I'm back again this week with She Sharing Hope and Encouragement. I'm just taking a little break from watching TV, and both kids are in the room, so I'm going to share with you something that I alluded to last week when I said, um, if you had an empty glass jar, think about what you would put in it, like something that you'd want to see because it's clear, okay? It's going to be clear and something you're going to want to look at, and it's inspiring. And so the point in that, um, it's about your thoughts. Okay, so the way we think impacts everything. Thoughts become emotions, and thoughts are just, well, they control us really. So your thoughts are very important, and the Bible talks about capturing your thoughts. And so I'm not going to give you the whole context. I just wanted to give you that phrase. It's in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, and it's making them obedient to Christ. But we're going to talk about the idea of capturing your thoughts. And so the idea of the glass, okay, being empty is that you only have so much room in it and then it's full. And so that is kind of like, that's all the thoughts you get for today is when you fill the glass. That's it. And so you want to be careful what you're putting in there, right? So you don't want to end up with a really ugly glass full of stuff. And I kind of experimented with this, and I put a bunch of junk in there around the house that kind of represented negative thoughts, like maybe how dirty my house is, how I don't feel great about myself sometimes, like things I think about somebody might have said something about me, or I'll be standing around thinking about maybe what somebody else did, or I'll be judging, thinking, why would they say or do that, or whatever. So these were all negative things, and these are things that are very easy to put in your cup without even thinking about it. And so we need to be intentional, and there's the word that's really important, is being intentional with what you put in your cup. So that I filled another one full of these pretty little gems, and they just sparkle. And so those represent the good thoughts. And so the idea is, where your focus goes, energy flows, right? So you don't become something great or whatever it is that you want to be. Like, say you wanted to be a hairdresser when you were little. You didn't just become it by never thinking about it or never making a step towards it. And so the idea is, we all have things we want to be. We want to be better at keeping our house clean, or we want to do a better job at work, or we want to be a better parent. We want to have peace. We want to have the absence of anxiety. Those things come the way we think and what we feed ourselves. And so starting with, as soon as you get up, it's important to say to yourself something like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and to start really pouring life into yourself like you would want to do for someone else. And that's not really an easy a thing to do, because, we get used to thinking a certain way after years of our processing. And so we're kind of programmed, I guess. And so now it becomes something we have to be intentional about. You have to be intentional about what you're putting in your jar. I want you to think of it like that if it helps to give you a visual. Be intentional about how you're filling that jar. So those thoughts need to be valuable. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I have potential. I'm excited about this. I love my life. I love that I have a home that I have to pay bills for. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I have my job, or I'm glad I have the potential to find another job. I'm pretty excited about being able to get in better shape. I'm excited that I can make decisions that affect me from here on out. So my little girl sometimes tells me, Mom, you make it sound like it's all rainbows and unicorns and all I have to do is think different. And that's not it. Let me tell you, it took me some time, and I didn't really feel like I was getting anywhere for a while. It was a few years ago. I'd been through things, and severe anxiety really crippled me. And so those are overwhelming thoughts, and they take over. And those of you who struggle with anxiety on a regular basis, I get it. It wasn't something I always had, and I don't have per se anymore. It was more of a seasonal thing, that's something that was a situation. And I went downhill quick. But the repercussions of it stuck around because you're scared. Those thoughts come into your mind, and that's just it. Thoughts create emotion. So that's the other thing. You have to be careful what you're thinking because it creates emotion and it controls you. So anyway, I started listening to videos on YouTube. You can listen to all kinds of speakers that are fantastic. Started reading books and just started focusing when I could finally get back to focusing. I had to get medication so I could even calm down enough to focus on anything else. But once I did, I was able to focus on some things, and then slowly but surely, those things you plant, they start they start growing. You know, they take more of a root in your mind, and now I feel like most of the time I'm at a place I'm pretty level, and I still have those moments. And believe me, I had a day this week that was really awful, but fortunately, I've been working on my mind for a while, and so I was able to get through it and kind of move past it. You know, you got to get out of it and look back sometimes and see what went wrong, but feed yourself valuable quality thoughts, okay? Because what you put in your cup is very, very important. So one more thought on this is a visual as far as a pathway, say a major highway, and you take this major highway to work. Very simple. You know how to get on it. You can forget you're even driving and show up at work and forget how you got there because you were thinking about something else. It's something you just do. It's a pathway that's already set. Your brain is kind of like that with the neuron pathways. The way we think about a lot of things is just there. It's programmed. And so what we have to do is like try to make a back road. It's like trying to take a new path someplace, and it's nearly not a road yet. So you're kind of paving it out. You know how easy it is to get up and forget that you were going to start paving out that path, and you have to keep reminding yourself to go this other way. It's like that in your mind. You have to keep reminding yourself, and eventually it gets a little easier and you start going that way more often. And so that can happen with your thinking. And so I want to leave you with the thought to hold your thoughts captive. Check out the scripture. And there's more, like I said, there's more to that context, but that's something we refer to sometimes, is to hold your thoughts captive. And so for next week, I feel like there's something I'm going to forget to share with you, but I guess you are what you think. And so we're going to fill your jar and fill it with something beautiful. But for next week, I kind of want you to think about 3 things that you could do for your friend that you wanted to encourage, to build up, to make her smile, whatever. Maybe she's going through something and you want to help her out, or you just want to do something nice for her. So I can get 3 ideas and think of those, and then I'm going to talk to you about them next week and what to do with at least one of them. So pick some ideas out, and if you don't mind, maybe type a couple in underneath if you can on this little session of She, which is sharing hope and encouragement, by the way. And I want to say she is resilient. You are resilient because look at all the things you've been through. We've all been through a lot and we're still here. You are resilient. So anyway, for your resilient friend, maybe I want you to think of a few things that you could do for her, and something that you would just think that was a perfect gift or whatever. Type it in if you would, and I hope to see you back again next time when we talk about what you're going to do with one of those ideas or all 3 of them. And by the way, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking in last week and following. And a couple of you reached out and told me what it meant to you, and that was extremely appreciated. I love it. I appreciate you. I love you. And God bless you.